Hey, everybody. This is kind of nice. We kind of have like a smaller group. It's a little bit more intimate. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. Is your mic working? No. No, it's not.
Okay. Hello? Hello?
Now
hello?
working?
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Awesome. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the process of singing for the show and singing in general and kind of what we do to prepare and how we do our jobs. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. Then we've got a little bit of a special interlude, and then after that we'll open it up to questions. And I know a lot of people had questions yesterday that they didn't get answered, so we're happy to answer any question that you have. It doesn't necessarily have to be about singing. Yeah, so my first question for you, Michelle, is what kind of skills do you have? What kind of musical background do you have that allows you to do your job so awesomely well?
Well, no, I've been singing ever since I was very young, and my parents run a music school called Creeper Music, and so I was introduced to music at a very young age, even before I was born, basically. So I sat in on hours and hours of music lessons, and it just kind of came very naturally for me. And I, as soon as I could talk, I started singing along, and it just, it's always been part of my life, and it's just stuck with me forever. Yeah.
Meow, meow, meow. See, eventually if you meow enough times, your mic turns on. That's an insider tip.
Okay.
So for me, I took piano lessons. I started when I was 6, and now I'm a piano teacher. And I find that to be a really great skill to have because if you can read music, you can get your music and you're able to look at it and see what all the notes mean. And it's like another language. So if you can read that language and speak that language, it really helps a lot in the studio.
Totally. And I also did a lot of performing too. On stage work, and it just it helps you a lot, because you get used to sort of everyone hearing your voice and also hearing yourself too when you hear recordings back and everything. So that's also a great skill to have if you can get into stage work. It's awesome.
And you play the drums too, right?
Yeah, piano's also a great one to have. Just in general, expanding your knowledge with music, and you become more comfortable with everything. So I play piano, drums, and guitar, and I find that I'm a lot more comfortable, now with just generally, reading music and everything because I play instruments. So that's another great skill to have.
Definitely. Okay, so let's talk about what happens when we are going to record some of your favorite songs. So how does it start?
Well, for My Little Pony, or for usually just general TV shows, we usually record a demo, and sometimes if we're not in town, another person will sing the demo, and then we'll look at it, and then we'll sing it for real. And Daniel will send us the MP3, and we'll check it out, and we always change some stuff, when we get there, and make sure everything's a great fit. And so we'll practice it a couple of times, depending on how complicated the song is, or if there's any harmonies, we'll break it up, or just run through it if we feel really comfortable with it and it's short. So it depends. But usually there's sort of a general building block process.
Yeah, what I do is when I get my sheet music, I sit down at the piano and I go through it on piano, and then I listen to the MP3, and I always listen to the MP3 in my car on the way there.
Yeah.
Do you do that too?
My mom always puts it in the, in the little plug-in, and we listen to it and make sure we got it in our head.
Yeah, and then it's fresh in your mind.
Yeah, totally.
And then you can warm up on your way there, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like double time.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite My Little Pony song to work on?
My favorite My Little Pony song, it'd probably be the Cutie Mark Crusaders anthem, because it was hilarious. It was just Maddie and I and Daniel. And Maddie just completely wrecked her voice. That wasn't funny. That was not the funny part. It was the actual song that, that came out afterwards, because it's just so silly, all the props, everything flying around. But we had a lot of fun doing that, because every single time Daniel was like, it's so good. It just, just has to be bad. Just has to be really bad. Anyway, so we finally got, to that horrific level,
That's hard to do. If you know what you're doing, it's really hard to not know what you're doing.
That's not in tune. Yes, perfect. Okay.
That's awesome. I think my favorite was Find a Pet.
Oh, yeah.
It was just a lot of fun. Ashley and I did it at the same time. We're in the studio together, and we could play off each other, and that's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, okay. Now it's time for the interlude, and then after that, we're going to have anyone with questions again line up on the left.
Frog.
Yeah, that's not good for singing.
That's what we...
I think it's a piece of popcorn, delicious popcorn that I've been eating.
Okay.
So we'd like to welcome Crimson Firefall up onto the stage. Come on up. And this is an incredibly generous person with some of the most beautiful hair I've ever seen. And she'd like to donate her hair to Locks of Love. So Michelle and I are going to chop it off. Turn around, show me your hair.
Oh.
Isn't it beautiful?
Oh, my goodness.
So Locks of Love is an organization that collects donated hair and gives it to sick children that have lost their hair for whatever reason. So some lucky kid is going to have a beautiful, beautiful hair. Okay, here we go.
Oh. Woo. Okay. Pressure. Okay, I don't know. You measure. I've done many things before, but this is not one of them. Okay, 12. Here we go. Wait, 12. Oh, 12 that way. My goodness.
Okay.
Oh.
Take the top.
All right. Okay, right there. Okay, here we go.
Right here.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that was so lame. Okay. Ready? Wait, China. There we go. Okay. Let's do this.
Yeah, drum roll.
Okay. All right. Heavens. Good Lord. Okay. There's so much
Nothing's
hair.
happening.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. Oh.
Yeah, there we go.
Heavens. Okay. This is not.
Here, you got it.
Okay. I got this. No, really. Okay. My goodness. Look, I'm trying. Okay. All right. Oh dear.
Good.
Dear Lord. Okay. So much pressure. Natalie. Okay. Natalie.
All right.
Okay.
Can
Go.
you?
Try this.
Heavens no.
Okay.
You have sharp scissors.
Oh, this is.
Oh, there we go.
Do.
What? Your hair is so thick.
I know.
Ridiculous.
That makes it even better.
Okay, we're almost done. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Do the final. Do the final one.
This is so much.
Okay, you guys, go. Snip it. It's off. It's off.
Stop. Ready to jump. Ready?
Wait. China. Good job. Yes.
Oh.
Good job.
Oh.
There's your hair.
My goodness.
That's yours. It's all yours.
Yes.
Thanks, Natalie. Okay, we're ready for your questions. So,
All right.
is it going to be right here?
Good questions. Right there. Okay.
Nobody has any questions?
Nobody has any
That
questions.
can't be right.
Hi, so I have a question about piano lessons in general. What is it about the piano specifically that helps get people introduced into music?
What is it about piano that helps with singing?
Yeah, what is it about the piano that helps get people introduced into music?
Get people introduced into music. Okay. Well, piano is very similar to voice because everything's sort of laid out and you have all your notes and you can really sort of relate to the piano for singing and it'll help you with your tuning, and if you're not quite sure about how melody goes in a song, you can go to the piano, check it out. And also what Andrea was saying about reading music, that also really helps. You're just generally sort of more you have a better sense of what you're actually doing when you're singing. It's essentially what piano helps you to do. So I think that's the big reason you have.
I got distracted. I was looking at your ponytail, wondering how long it measured. No. No. Where'd those scissors go? Good answer, Michelle. Watch your back.
Maybe I'll put it up in a bun.
I was wondering if you could sing a song for us.
Okay. Are you okay with that? Yeah, totally.
Hush now, quiet now, it's time to lay your sleepy head. Hush now, quiet now, it's time to go to bed.
Hush now, quiet now, it's time to lay your sleepy head. Said hush now, quiet now, it's time to go to bed. Drifting off to sleep, the joy of dreamland find you. Drifting off to sleep, with something I do. Hush now, quiet now, lay your sleepy head. Say hush now, quiet now, it's time to go to bed.
This is for Michelle, and how does it feel for you to have an album and also sing on sing in My Little Pony?
I'm very lucky. I love singing, and to have the opportunity to sing on such a great show and be able to sing, just my own kind of favorite music and have people recognize, what I love to do. It's awesome. So yeah, that's my favorite part of what I do, actually. Yeah.
Good question. Actually, I wanted to ask you if you have a favorite song from your album. Because it's so diverse. You cover all these different genres and all these different eras, and I was wondering if you had a favorite.
If I had a favorite? I don't know. I kind of think. It's really funky, and it's very, I don't know, it's really cool. We had some great singers come in and do the background vocals, and I don't know, every time I listen to that song, I'm like, yeah, it's such a cool song, I love it. Yeah.
This is a question for both of you. What is your favorite Pinkie Pie song?
Oh. What's the one where, what's like the one you end like this?
Oh, yeah. What is
She's an
that?
evil enchantress.
What is it?
There's like
She's an evil enchantress. She does evil dances. If you look in her eyes, I'm going to put you in trances. Kind of a song, kind of not.
I still like it, whatever it is.
So my question was about voice acting, and do you ever fall into character in your everyday lives and just sort of fall into a voice without thinking about it, or do you have to usually think about it before you start changing your voice?
I find that right after a session, if I answer my phone or I talk to someone, I just have more energy. I'm like, yeah, hi, how's it going? Yeah, let's meet up for dinner. And it's like, why are you talking like that? I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know if I've ever broken into complete, voice, like Apple Bloom voice, because it's pretty far from my, regular English speaking voice. But I think we like in sessions we do a lot of different voices because we're all silly and we all have a bunch of voices that we like to do. So sometimes we use our own voices and we have conversations like our characters. It's So I don't know if I've ever done that in regular life. Yeah. So sometimes we break into other stuff, but not Apple Bloom specifically.
Oh, okay.
All right, this is for Michelle. What is gonna be your most favorable moment with your favorite cousin, Babs Seeds?
I don't know. I like the first episode that Babsy's in. She's only in 2, right? Okay. Whew. Turn off the cameras. Okay, wait. What is my? All right. The first episode that she's in, I think that all 3 CMCs really grow because they, they kind of realize that because they were upset about being bullied, that they actually became bullies, and I think that that's also a thing that can happen in real life. And so I'm sure that there was a lot of people that could relate to that, and so that's why I really like that moment, because they actually realize that they can become friends because, usually a bully has a reason to be so upset, and if you could find that reason and help them with it, then maybe you could become friends. So yeah.
It won't last forever.
So yeah, I had a question. If you've both watched Equestria Girls, you can both answer, but which song in Equestria Girls was your favorite?
I haven't seen it yet. Have you?
Well, I recorded the song,
Right.
so I remember that.
Yeah.
It's I really like all of the songs from it, but I like jump up, da na na, stomp your hoof, turn around, cantaloupe, wonder. I like that one.
Yeah. I like the one that goes, hey, have a head up.
Yeah, that one's good too.
That's my favorite.
That's a good one.
It's very
Spoilers.
stylish.
Yeah,
It's got a lot
spoilers.
of character, I think.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm really nervous right now. It's my first time being here at the convention, actually.
Ooh,
Nice.
are you having fun?
Thank you. My question to you, Michelle, is did you enjoy singing the song Raise This Barn along with Ashley Ball?
Oh yeah, that was a great one. I love that. I love that recording. Ashley and I actually did the session together, and it was a total fun one because I think family is very important. So to sing such a great supportive, it really sort of recognizes how important family is, and I think that's why I liked recording it so much. And Ashley's really nice, so yeah.
Thank you.
Just want to know if you've ever damaged your voice, and how did it happen?
Yeah, actually not that long ago, I did a session for a thing. And it was very strenuous, and I woke up the next day and I had a singing audition, and I couldn't do it.
So how'd you cope
I
with it?
couldn't do it. I just like tea and resting and not talking at all, and it came back. The next day it was like half back, and the day after that, I remember it was Friday was the audition, so I had the weekend to recover. But it was really scary. It was like, what if it doesn't come back? It's freaky. Yeah. Has that ever happened to you?
I think maybe a couple of times, when I've had to use it a lot, it's gotten a little hoarse. I don't think I've ever, thankfully. Oh! I'm like, why are you laughing? What is so funny? Do you think
Michelle's
that's
like,
funny?
"This is
Do you
not
think that's
funny."
What? It's a pony convention. Okay.
Oh yeah. Why are we here again?
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, I guess. So.
Oh, that person's wearing ears. Okay, I know where I am now. I think it's gotten a horse. Okay, no, I'm not gonna say that again. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna. You're not gonna trick me again. Yeah, sore. It's gotten sore a couple of times. But I tend to really be careful, and if I think that it's gonna be is my voice gonna be affected by something that I'm doing, then I'll try to stop and just completely stop talking and make sure that it's well rested. But sometimes you don't even know when something is hurting your voice. And so that can happen very commonly. Very commonly. Yeah, so it's just be aware of it. Make sure that you know your own voice. And sometimes it's also not what you're doing. It could be like a cold. So don't be too worried about it. Just be aware of it.
Hey, so I was wondering if Apple Bloom goes into Sugar Cube Corner, what's the first thing that she would say?
If Apple Bloom went into Sugar Cube Corner, what would she say?
Trying to get some sweets?
I think she would say, apples! Applejack, can we get those apples? Because I want them now!
This is for both of you. If you were given free reign by the executives on an upcoming song for the show, which genre would you ask Daniel to make the song in?
Ooh, if only, huh?
I don't know.
A rap?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty obvious.
A to the P to the PLE.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. Wiki, wiki, wiki. Apple.
Thanks.
Do you have one, or do you agree?
No, yeah, I think rap. Yeah, man. Or just like dubstep. Wub, 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 wub. And then there'd be Pink like, wub, 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 wub.
Though I think the Apple family should really do like a good old country
Can you
and
imagine?
western.
And Granny Smith would be like, yeah, hop hip, I'm in with the coolio business, y'all. That'd be hilarious.
I'm just curious, for any original properties of music, which one would you likely do as a parody, just like you did for Katy Perry's California Girls?
Oh.
How about from each of you answer that question individually? Which song?
Do you know which song?
So, for example, there was Equestria Girls. Was that what it was?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, and Pinkie Pie singing as Katy Perry's California Girls. So, what other songs would be good to cross over?
Into Pony? Or,
Yeah.
okay.
Old or new, no restriction.
Yes,
Could
okay.
even be Elvis.
I don't know. What's...
I like the new Daft Punk song. I want that to be Pony. Yeah. We're up all night to get apples. We're up all night to get...
like, instead of thrift shop, it could be like hoof shop.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Did you hear that? Thrift, Macklemore Thrift Shop?
Right?
She said, what was it?
I'm gonna buy some apples. What is the pony?
I got $20 in my pocket.
What is the pony?
Bits.
Bits.
I got 20 bits in my pocket. Yeah. Wait, do you have one?
What?
Do you have one that you want to see?
Sure. Or wait, was it? Yeah, I got a suggestion. How about Nickelback's?
Oh. No, it's okay. Aw, look at his face. You hurt his feelings.
Okay, whatever. Let's see. Nickelback's.
The new
If
one?
everyone cried, nobody died. I think that's a song
The
title.
new one? It's like,
Yeah, I think that.
That one?
If everyone cared, that's
There you
what it's
go.
called.
That's our Nickelback song. That's our best Nickelback impression.
Awesome. Good question.
Hello. My
Hi.
question is for Andrea Libman.
That's me.
Yes, it is. Yeah, sure. Now, I know you voiced Pinky in Fluttershy, and you've done all these other things, like you teach piano and stuff, but Can you see why kids love Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
What? I love how random that question was.
I'm so
I was not
confused right
expecting
now.
that.
Yes?
Thank you. That's all I needed to know.
Hey, this is for both of you guys. I was wondering what was your favorite type of music you like to sing?
We like to sing? Oh. I love jazz. Jazz. Yeah, I don't know. What's your favorite?
Yeah, probably jazz and pop.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Nickelback, of course.
Of course.
And,
Obviously.
and gangster rap.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, wait, I have a good one. When the question was, what song could ponies do? What about Boogie Wonderland? Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Just like all the ponies, you got like final, oh no, it's vinyl scratch, Everyone's just like Boogie. I think that would be hilarious.
That'd be
The
good.
best.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
What song did you have the most difficulty performing?
Sorry?
Like,
What song do we have the most difficulty performing?
Oh.
We're really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if
Yeah,
you're saying
like,
that
it's
you
hard
can
to
think of
think.
one, because
Yeah,
obviously there
Yeah,
is
like,
no
I don't even know.
song.
Like, totally, yeah.
I
like,
mean,
whatever.
you just heard Nickelback, so I think that says it all. So
thanks, ego.
Yeah, whatever.
yeah, God.
If the Cutie Mark Crusaders could have their own spin-off show, what would it be about?
Ooh.
Besides the Cutie Marks.
Ooh. I think it would be about Pinkie Pie. No? Oh, no, it would be about you.
Bunnies.
I don't know. Maybe they would already have their cutie marks, and then they'd be like, I don't know. They'd be trying to figure out what the meaning of their cutie marks would be, because I don't know. It's only so many things they can do with them trying to find their cutie mark. It might get a little old, But I mean, they still learn a lot of lessons. But I think it would expand sort of their adventures, because it's already something that they know what the outcome is, but they don't know why that is. Like, some people just don't know what they're supposed to do in life, and sometimes when they find that thing, they don't know if it's what they want to do or if it is. So that might be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're also just generally awesome. So.
Yeah, crazy shenanigans.
I'm still blank funk.
Yeah, thanks.
Are we good? Can you hear me? Okay, good. All right, so I think last year at Everfree, it was, I don't remember what panel, but it was discussed the telephone effect. The fact that what you hear and what we hear are different. So if I record myself, it'll sound funny to me. So with that in mind, you as voice actors, how do you practice Fluttershy, Apple Bloom, knowing that what we hear is different than what you'd hear inside your own head?
My mind just blew up.
Yeah, wait. I was trying to follow that question. Wait,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, no.
I guess the thing is we can only hear what we hear, but we've got pretty amazing directors that can guide us and say a little more like this, a little more like this. So that's why you have someone else to bounce things off of and let you and guide you, and you just have to trust them.
I think that's also why getting used to your own voice and recording it, professionally, and also just performing on stage is a great thing, because you get used to it and you're comfortable using it, and that's a big thing. So I think we've, both kind of gotten into that habit of making sure that we're in a comfortable range with our voice and knowing, what we can do with it and what we can't. So.
And I think, the more you practice, you can hear it live. You've found that spot that, people say that that's what they like, and then you listen to match that again. So it's just a lot of listening, I guess.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
I wanted to know what lesson in the show did you thought was the most important?
Well, that's a good question.
It's a lot of messages.
I know. Every episode.
They're all important. Hey, that's a pretty good one.
Where have I heard that before? Never mind.
I like it when Fluttershy learns to, stand up for herself and get some courage. And I think a lot of people can relate to that and get strength from that. So that's one of my favorite lessons.
Yeah. I think just generally the struggle that the Cutie Mark Crusaders go through is something that I'm sure a lot of, young adults and kids go through, and even adults too. And I think that's why they're such, great characters to watch evolve, because they're written in a way where you can really relate to them and really want them to succeed and stuff. And that's one of my favorite lessons. Well, not lessons, but it's what was the word that you used? Moral.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good word. So just generally, you have to find who you are in life, and if you're not being, truthful to yourself and what you're doing, then it's not worth it because you only have one shot. So that's my favorite part of what Cutie Mark Crusaders, watching them. So yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, I have a question for both of you. Do you ever find yourselves, what's it like in the studio talking behind the scenes with characters like Tara Strong and Tabitha St. Germain? What's the experience like outside of the recording booth?
Outside of recording?
Yeah, like just, waiting between lines and joking around.
It's crazy time.
This is crazy. I don't know. Yeah, I think that because of you guys, because of the Brony phenomenon, and that we've gotten all these amazing opportunities to go to conventions, you see the other voice actors and you get to know them, and but you don't really, you don't actually talk to them. Just for long periods of time, and really, there's a certain trust now, really, because we've worked so closely and just hung out and just became really good friends. So that's sort of what's happened because we've been able to spend so much time with each other outside of the recording room. It's also awesome just in the studio. So much fun.
Yeah.
In the way, how it is set up, there's the studio, so you can be inside, but then when you're waiting to go in, that's where everyone gathers. And it gets crazy out there to the point where if they're recording something out inside, come on, they're like, shh, we can hear you through all the soundproofing, because everyone's just rah, going crazy and happy to see each other, and that's when you get to talk. And then when you get inside, of course, you have to record stuff and be quiet.
Yeah. Ugh. What is that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Especially when Tabitha brings cookies, though. It's good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Could you answer this in Apple Bloom's voice? What do you think her cutie mark will be?
Well, I kind of get this a lot. I don't know.
I have a question. Won't it just be an apple bloom? No?
That would be...
Perhaps? Could it be?
I wonder what that would look like. Just an apple and then just blossoms, hovering around it.
But what does that mean? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what it means.
What do you think?
Yeah, what do you think? Yeah, what do you guys think? Because I don't know. I get this question a lot, and it's a great question.
Construction. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's got to be something
Chainsaw.
artistic. I always thought.
What do you think?
I always thought that I forgot about this answer. I thought of this, I think last year's Everfree Northwest, and I thought maybe it's so cool that the Cutie Mark Crusaders sort of all have the same goal and they all want to find who they are. So maybe they have sort of like a 3-part, cutie mark. So so they all have like the same like heart around something, just they're all kind of connected in some way. I think that would be cool.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Thanks for your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi. So, Michelle, I know you do some really great rocking renditions of some awesome songs. My question for either of you is, do either of you have an interest or do in spare time any composing or songwriting? Or, yeah, even if you don't, do you have any composers that you would idolize or anything like that?
Well, Daniel's obviously a fantastic composer, so I think we really look up to him and we respect him and appreciate what he does for the show. But I also write some of my own stuff, and we're working on some originals that we might release soon. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
I sometimes, but I don't know. I don't like it. I try.
Why not?
I like playing other people's music because it's awesome.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Yay, Osaka
Yay,
Jack.
hey.
All the way from
Osaka.
Japan. Yay!
Mine is actually a technical question. Both of you have done songs where you play multiple characters within the song. When you're recording this, do you do each character separately and then mix the tracks, or is it one take?
Separate.
Yeah.
Michelle actually does both at the same time.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It really is. I know.
Again with the ponytail.
I know.
Where's those scissors?
No. We always record them separately, and sometimes we record everything for Apple Bloom and then do the whole song again, everything Sweetie Belle. But sometimes we also go section for section, and sometimes if there's harmonies, we'll also split it up, and it'll be all over the place. But yeah, it just kind of depends.
Yeah, usually with the it's like, can you grab this harmony? Can you grab this harmony? Can you grab this harmony? And then you just go through and bing, bing, bing.
In ones where it's the chorus, do you have one that you usually do first? Like, is it usually
Whatever
Fluttershy?
Daniels wants to do first.
We usually do the lead first. If that's your question, like the sort of the...
Well, which character
Right.
do you find yourself doing first?
Well, it depends who's singing the lead, because there's always, if you look at a chart for a song, there'll be lead, harmony 1, harmony 2. So whoever's like the focus of the song, for example, the Hearts on Tuesday song,
Right.
I think sort of the main singer was Sweetie Belle, so she was, she qualified as the lead, and so I guess I don't remember exactly, but I think I sang her part first, just so then the harmonies build off of that. Because that's how you write songs, usually. Unless you're Andrea, because I don't know what happens inside her brain.
So I'm crazy like that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm a Montessori teacher for preschoolers and younger.
Wow.
Nice.
And when I'm in that classroom, you play a bell or you start a song and they all show up and they want to sing. I'm also the mother of a teenager and a 7-year-old, so I see a lot of stuff on. It's like as you get older, you're less interested in singing, especially in public. Because I think we have this image that you have to be really, really, really good to sing because you would then have to have the job, blah, blah, blah. What kept you singing and exciting, whether or not you ended up in a singing career? I mean, how can we get kids, young adults, old adults, everybody to be willing to be creative? I mean, what worked for you?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Well,
I think
for Michelle, her family would disown her if she stopped singing. So she's under a lot of... No, that's not true.
No, it's not true. I think you should answer this question, though, just because I think my situation is a little different than some other people just because it's part of me, so I don't think I would ever lose interest in it. But yeah, maybe you could answer.
Well, I was involved in the music program at my high school, big time, and had a really great teacher who let me do whatever I wanted, which was really fun. No, I mean, instead of just being like, oh, here's the boundaries, it's like, you want to do a song, go ahead. You want to arrange a song, go ahead. You want to do this. So I think if you're able to do what you want and sing the styles that you want, that really helps, like to have that freedom, and that got me really excited about it. And then I kept singing for my job, so.
Actually, yeah, that's a good.
Did it ever make a difference? These kids will also go to camp and sing their hearts out at campfire, but coming home, it's like, oh, nothing. Did you always feel like safe about lack of embarrassment, or did that hit you all the time?
That sort of comes with performing.
Being a ham.
Yeah. I was just going to add to what Andrea was saying. Don't force anyone to, sing in a style that they don't like to sing in, because that is the worst possible thing that you could do, because no one's going to fit into this exact box. And I think that's what a lot of teachers have trouble with, is because they have this exact thing that these kids have to do, and that totally catches them off guard, and then they say, well, I don't want to do this. But they might want to sing, just not that way. So definitely let them have the freedom to sing the way they want to. I mean, not, like help them if they're out of tune, but the style and the way, they like to sing, that sort of thing.
I think encouragement too, like it's so nice to just, hey, that sounded great. Like it never
tell them that, you might fail, right? You can never fail. You might not do it the way you want to, but you have to do it, or you'll never know,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My question for you two is, what words of encouragement / reassurance would you offer to the blank flanks in this room? People who have not yet acquired or developed their unique talent that they can share with everyone just yet, and who might feel intimidated by those who are either great artists or have some talent that makes them shine for everybody.
That's a really great question.
I think not everything comes easy, and if you really want to do something, you have to take the steps to make it happen. So I would encourage everyone, take those steps, be confident and take a chance and work hard. And, the harder you work, the more you can accomplish, so.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spencer, what's
Hello,
up?
how are you?
Good, how are you?
I had a friend from California who couldn't be here, and she wanted to ask a couple of questions. The first one was, what is your favorite song on the show that your character didn't perform? Like a different song on the show that wasn't performed by your character.
That we didn't sing.
That's tough.
I like the pet one, the Find a Pet.
That's
that was
a fun
really
one.
sweet. Because I have 2 dogs, Max and Marley, and so I thought that was really sweet. Yeah.
I like the Raise the Barn song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
That's nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one. Thanks, Spencer. Say 2.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So my question for you this afternoon is, if humans had cutie marks, what would yours be and why?
I think I said that yesterday.
Yeah, we did have this question yesterday,
Yeah.
but I said my cousin actually designed one for me, and it's like it's a heart made out of a treble clef and a bass clef, so music, and then it has a square root over it for nerdy.
Nice.
Yeah, I think mine would be a microphone, just because it kind of ties in everything that I'm about, and so Canadian, about. A boot. A boot. A boot. Yeah, so I think mine would be a microphone or some sort of musical thing.
All right, thank you.
Thank
I
you.
don't know how this is a musical thing. This is a musical thing.
Hi, I was wondering if either of you have any advice for any aspiring voice actors or people trying to become an internet personality on a YouTube channel or anything like that?
There's only one internet personality on this stage.
But you're both voice actors.
An internet personality?
It's like Speedy and Stretch.
Oh, okay. So, advice for inspiring voice actors, and then well, how did that tie into internet? Wait.
Or how to become that.
Oh, okay.
How to become
okay.
a Speedy Stretch.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Stretchy.
Yes.
You have to be really bendy. No.
I think that what Andrea was saying about, trying to find out what your cutie mark is, just don't give up. And if you really want to do something, then go for it. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it. Because if you put your mind to it, you can do anything, So, also, with the internet, it's kind of a shallow place, but I think that if you just, I think one of the problems about the internet is that anyone can say anything, and, if you put something up on YouTube and someone dislikes it or someone says something bad in the comments, then it can really bog you down. But don't listen to them because, listen to your friends and your family and the people that you respect and respect you. And so if you're posting stuff on YouTube, just listen to your real fans, and also just get your name out there and keep posting videos and see what people like.
What an awesome thing to say.
Really?
That's really awesome.
Thank you so
Love
much.
that.
Hey guys. So when you first see a show or hear a character, I think their voice really informs you immediately, like what their personality and character is. So when you first started developing the voices for different characters, how did you kind of find that sweet spot where you're like, this feels really right for this character and I've hit it? It's like, how do you get to that point?
Usually it takes quite a while of going back and forth. So, it happens, when you do it for the beginning of a show, it's one thing and you work on it. Part of it is making sure that all the voices sound different, especially on a show like My Little Pony where there's a lot of female characters. You have to make sure each and every one is different. But it happens all the time. Like if someone comes in to do a guest part, it's the writers and the director and the animation directors are all in there and they're going back and forth. They're like, no, I think you would be deeper. No, I think slower. No, older. And they'll play with it. And sometimes they don't know what they want and they just want you to just kind of go at it until they find something. Then, oh yeah, that's it. We like that. So we just kind of like go dun 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 until they like something.
A little bit of that.
That's our job. So, yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank all of you guys for such awesome questions, you guys, and the incredible answers that we've gotten. I think we all can say we learned a lot today. We just wanted to let you know real quick that Michelle will have CDs and autographs, a special session next door at 2:30. So if you guys want to head over there, you can get one more shot to get a signature. You guys have any closing remarks that you'd like to say?
Yeah, just thank you for being here and thanks for your awesome questions.
Yeah, thank you. Wait.
Let's give them a round of applause,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you, Andrea and Michelle. One more drum roll, please.
Crimson Firefall up onto the stage. Come on up. And this is an incredibly generous person with some of the most beautiful hair I've ever seen. And she'd like to donate her hair to Locks of Love. So Michelle and I are going to chop it off.
Turn around, show me your hair.
Oh.
Isn't it beautiful?
Oh my goodness.
So Locks of Love is an organization that collects donated hair and gives it to sick children that have lost their hair for whatever reason. So some lucky kid is going to have a beautiful beautiful hair. Okay, here we go.
Oh. Oh. Woo. Okay. Okay, I don't know. You measure. I've done many things before, but this is not one of them. Okay, 12. Here we go. Here we go. Wait, 12. Oh, 12 that way. My goodness.
Okay.
Oh.
The top?
All right. Okay, right there. Okay, here we go.
Right here?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that was so lame. Okay. Ready? Wait, China. With just generally, reading music and everything because I play instruments, so that's another great skill to have.
Definitely. Okay, so let's talk about what happens when we are going to record some of your favorite songs. So how does it start?
Well, for My Little Pony, or for usually just general TV shows, we usually record a demo. And sometimes, if we're not in town, another person will sing the demo, and then we'll look at it, and then we'll sing it for real. And Daniel will send us the MP3, and we'll check it out. And we always change some stuff, when we get there, and make sure everything's a great fit. And so we'll practice it a couple of times, depending on how complicated the song is, or if there's any harmonies, we'll break it up, or just run through it if we feel really comfortable with it and it's short. So it depends, but usually there's sort of a general building block process.
Yeah, what I do is when I get my sheet music, I sit down at the piano and I go through it on piano, and then I listen to the MP3, and I always listen to the MP3 in my car on the way there.
Yeah.
Do you do that too?
My mom always puts it in the, in the little plug-in, and we listen to it and make sure we got it in our head.
Yeah, and then it's fresh in your mind.
Yeah, totally.
And then you can warm up on your way there too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like double time.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite
as soon as I could talk, I started singing along, and it just, it's always been part of my life, and it's just stuck with me forever. Yeah.
Meow, meow, meow. See, eventually if you meow enough times, your mic turns on. That's an insider tip.
Okay.
So for me, I took piano lessons. I started when I was 6, and now I'm a piano teacher. And I find that to be a really great skill to have, because if you can read music, you can get your music and you're able to look at it and see what all the notes mean. And it's like another language. So if you can read that language and speak that language, it really helps a lot in the studio.
Totally. And I also did a lot of performing too. On stage work, and it just it helps you a lot, because you get used to sort of everyone hearing your voice and also hearing yourself too when you hear recordings back and everything. So that's also a great skill to have if you can get into stage work. It's awesome.
And you play the drums too, right?
Yeah, piano's also a great one to have. Just in general, expanding your knowledge with music, and you become more comfortable with everything. So I play piano, drums, and guitar, and I find that I'm a lot more comfortable, now.
A pony song to work on.
My favorite My Little Pony song, it'd probably be the Cutie Mark Crusaders anthem, because it was hilarious. It was just Maddie and I and Daniel, and Maddie just completely wrecked her voice. That wasn't funny. That was not the funny part. It was the actual song that that came out afterwards, because it's just so silly, all the props, everything flying around. But we had a lot of fun doing that, because every single time Daniel was like, it's so good. It just has to be bad. Just has to be really bad. Anyway, so we finally got to that horrific level.
That's hard to do. If you know what you're doing, it's really hard to not know what you're doing.
That's not in tune. Yes, perfect. Okay.
That's awesome. I think my favorite was Find a Pet.
Oh, yeah.
It was just a lot of fun. Ashley and I did it at the same time. We were in the studio together, and we could play off each other, and that's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, okay. now it's time for the interlude, and then after that, we're going to have anyone with questions again line up on the left.
Frog.
Yeah, that's not good for singing.
That's what we.
I think it's a piece of popcorn, delicious popcorn that I've been eating.
Okay.
So we'd like to welcome. Hey, everybody. This is kind of nice. We kind of have like a smaller group. It's a little bit more intimate. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. Is your mic working? No. No, it's not.
Okay. Hello. Hello.
Now
hello.
working?
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Awesome. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the process of singing for the show and singing in general and kind of what we do to prepare and how we do our jobs. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. Then we've got a little bit of a special interlude, and then after that we'll open it up to questions. And I know a lot of people had questions yesterday that they didn't get answered, so we're happy to answer any question that you have. It doesn't necessarily have to be about singing. Yeah, so my first question for you, Michelle, is what kind of skills do you have? What kind of musical background do you have that allows you to do your job so awesomely well?
Well, no, I've been singing ever since I was very young, and my parents run a music school called Creeper Music, and so I was introduced to music at a very young age, even before I was born, basically. So I sat in on hours and hours of music lessons, and it just kind of came very naturally for me, and